Good evening and welcome to First 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus. How is everybody doing? I am your host, Indiana Shills, back here to set the bar straight. It's another week. Always good to start your Monday off on the right foot. And in Green Bay, we got big stuff here on Monday night. Obviously, I'm talking about the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are welcoming the Philadelphia Eagles into town tonight for Monday Night Football. Last year, the Eagles ended the Packers season in the playoffs. The Packers ended up losing to the Eagles first game of the year in Brazil by a small margin. So a little bit of a revenge game here for the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love and company. Now we have some homecoming visits for people on the Eagles. A.J. Dillon makes his return to Lambeau Field today. No Jaire Alexander. He had just gotten traded from the Ravens to Philadelphia. Even though we were kind of hoping to maybe see Jaire. No Jaire Alexander. He did not make the trip with the team to Green Bay. So we will not be seeing that matchup today, but we do have a lot of energy here in Green Bay. Everybody's looking at this as a pretty big game. I mean, obviously falling last week to the Carolina Panthers was a bit of a shock for fans, but now they're going to go up against, the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon Barkley, the Packers got thrashed on the ground against Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard last weekend. Apparently, Coach Matt LaFleur says they have cleaned it up and they're ready to go and give their best stab at Saquon Barkley, who is, one of the, if not the best running backs in the league. Last year, he had an unbelievable season. He hasn't really had too many big explosive games aside from 2 weeks ago against the New York Giants, where he ran all over the team. He's only had 20 plus carries in one game this year, but Saquon Barkley still a huge factor for that Philadelphia team. Jalen Hurts at quarterback, A.J. Brown at receiver, Devonta Smith at receiver, Dallas Goedert at tight end. So, and then their defense is just phenomenal. So we'll have to see what happens there, but we will send it down over to Lambeau real quick. Local 5, Paul Stino. He will play a little clip of some of the stuff that, some of the tailgating activities that was going on earlier today. This is his live shot from our 4 p.m. newscast.
Are plenty of groups out tailgating ahead of tonight's game. Our Paul Stino caught up with one Packers fan who is hoping to meet some of the players. Paul.
Yeah, Caitlin, it is cold. It is windy out here at Lambeau, but Packer fans would have it no other way. We're in Lot 1 here outside Lambeau Field, where the party is well underway. And I actually saw Frozen Tundra Man just a few moments ago. And Caitlin, it might be the first game of the season where the icicles on his cheese head are actually real, because like I said, it is definitely cold out here tonight, but it's football weather, and more importantly, Packers weather. And for this showdown here on Monday Night Football between the Packers and the defending Super Bowl champion and a team that beat the Pack twice last season, Philadelphia Eagles, Packer fans telling me that they're cautiously optimistic, but that they do think this is an important game in terms of setting the tone for the rest of the season and getting the Packers back on the right track. It may be 4 o'clock on a Monday, but Packer fans are already out here roaming the parking lots, getting ready for the game. We spoke to one Packer fan who was trying to get this wood carving signed here today. He was a medical commander, the 177th Fighter Wing, for 6 years, and some people there gifted him this when he left that role.
I think it's outstanding, just the way there's a local community here, I think, like no other team has. And plus, it's sentimental to me, too, because my dad, after he got back from Vietnam, put in for Green Bay Packer tickets for a season, and that's when they played in Milwaukee. He died in 2012, and he got the tickets in 2013. So I bring my mom and the family up here ever since.
Yeah, Caitlin, lots of interesting people out here outside Lambeau right now. Coming up at 5, we will hear from some fans that came from all the way across the ocean in order to be here to root on the Packers here tonight. Live from Lambeau Field, Paul Stino, Local 5 News.
All right, great job by Paul in his 5 o'clock live shot. We did get to hear from those Scottish fans. They're from Scotland, which is pretty cool to see them make the trip across the pond over here, over to Green Bay. If you're wondering just how significant this game is, I have it pulled up over here. Should the Green Bay Packers win this game, they'll move to the number 2 team in the NFC with a 6-2-1 record. They will be top of the NFC North, only behind the Seattle Seahawks, who are 7-2. They would be above the Rams, who are also 7-2, but based on how the divisions go. Now, if they lose this game, the Packers, they fall all the way to the 7th seed, the last seed in the NFC playoffs, 3rd in the division. They'd be behind the 6-3 Detroit Lions, the 6-3 Chicago Bears, and then they would be 5-3-1. The other teams they'd be behind, the Eagles would move up to 1st in the NFC at 7-2. Seattle would be 2nd. 3rd, like we said, was the Lions. Buccaneers 4th at 6-3. 5th would be the Rams. 6th, like I said, Bears, and then 7 would be Green Bay. So very big playoff implications, at least through week 10 here in the NFL. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, this is a game that I can either see, them winning or just really not being competitive in. Now, they played in Brazil last year. They played at Philadelphia in the playoffs, so there hasn't been that home field advantage for the Packers in these last 2 matchups against the Eagles. Will Lambeau Field make a difference? Well, the weather certainly is looking like it could play a little bit of a factor with how chilly it is. It's going to be about 30 degrees for kickoff under clear skies, dropping to mid-20s with a wind chill in the upper teens by the end of the game. The skies will remain clear. Clouds will increase ahead of the approaching warm front that brings a few isolated light snow showers very late tonight or even early tomorrow morning. Lows will be in the low to mid-20s tonight. Cold stuff, I'll tell you what, but we do warm up eventually. Tuesday, about 40, Wednesday, 47, Thursday, 50s, and then all the way to Saturday, we can get 55 is looking like the high. But anywho, as for the Packers, I'd not limit. Let's go see if we can quickly pull up the injury report, which we have here. Let's see who is out. So we only have 2 people out for sure in this game. A couple people questionable. Nate Hobbs, cornerback, he is out with a knee injury. And then unfortunately, my guy, Lucas Van Ness, is still out with a foot injury. Questionable for tonight is wide receiver Matthew Golden. He was limited practice on Thursday, did not practice on Friday or Saturday. And then Zach Tom, he was limited in practice all week. Offensive lineman, very good player for the Packers. He is questionable. Dontavion Wicks, another wide receiver. He was limited all week with a calf injury. And then Savion Williams, also another wide receiver for the Green and Gold. Did not participate in practice on Thursday, limited on Friday and Saturday. He is also questionable. Other people that were on the injury report with limited practice, Micah Parsons, no designation from him. Aaron Banks, he was a full participant on Friday. Edgerrin Cooper was a full participant. And Josh Jacobs also, he was on a veteran rest for the limited practice early on Thursday and Friday. So Packers and Eagles, they go at 7:15 tonight. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to be a fun game, and I'm looking forward to watching it. Ordered a pizza. We scheduled it for about 6:30, 6:45. I got to work a later shift tonight, which is a little unfortunate, but at the same time, I'll still be able to watch the game. And yeah, let's put our faith in Jordan Love, put our faith in Josh Jacobs. Hopefully the play calling gets a little better, and we'll kind of see what happens. All right, guys, let's go ahead and hit our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll touch on Local 5's Ellie Davis's story, and then we'll talk about the much-anticipated 50-year anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Welcome back to Local 5's First 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus. I am your host, Indiana Shills, back from commercial break. Appleton, they have, after they renamed Memorial Park to Veterans Memorial Park, the city has now decided on a name for now has to decide on a name for the old Veterans Park, which is located on Memorial Drive. I know that's a little confusing. Appleton's, they renamed Memorial Park to Veterans Memorial Park, but Veterans Park on Memorial Drive now has to be renamed. Anywho, let's stop playing tongue twister here and let's let Local 5's Ellie Davis take it away.
All right, thanks, guys. After Appleton renamed Memorial Park to Veterans Memorial Park, the city now has to decide on a name for the old Veterans Park that's located on Memorial Drive. Our Ellie Davis has more on what's next for this park.
It's a small green space that greets drivers on their commute into Appleton. But after Appleton renamed its largest park to Veterans Memorial Park, city leaders say it's time to give this area a new identity.
I think it would be just confusing to have two parks named Veterans. So immediately, once we recognized that the name Veterans was going to go to a place that has greater public access and visibility, then we came back and thought about, we're going to need to do something with this park.
Smith says the community is encouraged to submit their ideas.
Right now, people should be thinking about like what would be something to recognize in Appleton's past, a person, a group that we could recognize better in Appleton.
Each park in Appleton currently has a name that reflects the city's history. Smith says the city will be doing the same here.
Appleton park names aren't just made up out of thin air. They can't just be anything. We actually have a list of categories for these names. And one of them is names of historical figures or groups of people.
For Vietnam veteran Jack Voigt, he was involved in the original naming of the park. He says the change in the name is the right call to properly honor the veterans in the community.
40 years ago, when I thought of the idea of having a name change at that park, the old park, to be Veterans Park, and now we're going to a much bigger location and more comprehensive in nature for veterans.
Voigt says he hopes the new name of the old park will better suit the city.
And it's a local community park that needs to be looked at seriously, and I think it has a lot of potential because we have a lot of different assets already surrounding that park.
Public input is set in the coming months, and Smith says by spring the old Veterans Park will have a new name. In Appleton, Ellie Davis, Local 5 News.
The new Veterans Memorial Park is set to be a gather space for groups and will have different memorials to honor veterans in the community.
Just looking up some notable people who are from or have been associated with Appleton. Willem Dafoe, actor. Harry Houdini, obviously they already have a Houdini Park. What else we got here? Any of these names I recognize? Rocky Bleier, 4-time Super Bowl champion. Brian Butch, NBA player. He did play in the NBA. Yeah, no one else is really standing out to me. Ross Kenseth. I assume that's Matt Kenseth's brother or father. Jack Mead. Who is this? Authors, business people? I don't know. They can name it. Oh, look at this. John Bradley. He was the Navy flag raiser at Iwo Jima. Could be Bradley Park. I don't know. That's not really for me to decide. But anywho, let's go ahead and move on to our next story. And probably one of the most important ones of the day today. 50 years ago, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. 29 men lost their lives 50 years ago when the Edmund Fitzgerald had come to, they were going to Lake Superior, or they were on Lake Superior, the gales of November. Gordon Lightfoot really describes it in a pretty good, what would we call it? Memory of the SS Edmund Fitzgerald. It was a Great Lakes freighter that sank in Lake Superior during a storm with the loss of its entire 29-men crew. For 17 years, it carried taconite, I think is how you say it, from mines along the Minnesota Iron Range near Duluth, in Detroit, Toledo, and other Great Lakes ports, as a workhorse. She set season haul record 6 times, often breaking her own record. And then it was carrying a full cargo of taconite ore pellets with Captain Ernest M. McSorley in command. She embarked on her final voyage from Superior, Wisconsin, near Duluth, on the afternoon of November 9th, en route to a steel mill near Detroit. She was caught the next day in a severe storm with near hurricane force winds and waves up to, get this, 35 feet high. Sometime after 5:30 p.m., Edmund Fitzgerald had reported being in difficulty at 7:10. Captain McSorley sent his last message saying, "We are holding our own." Her crew of 29 perished. No bodies were ever recovered. Shortly after 7:10 p.m., Edmund Fitzgerald suddenly sank in Canadian Ontario waters, 530 feet deep, about 17 miles from Whitefish Bay, not Wisconsin, but Whitefish Bay, eastern end of Lake Superior between Michigan and Ontario, near the Twin Cities of Sault Ste. Sault Ste. Marie, maybe? It's me. A distance Edmund Fitzgerald could have covered in just over an hour at top speed. The exact cause of the sinking remains unknown, though many books, studies, and expeditions have examined it. Edmund Fitzgerald may have been swamped, suffered structural failure or topside damage, grounded on a shoal, or suffered from a combination of these. We have a little clip here of a local man. Many of you know him as Frozen Tundra Man from Packer games. You know, the guy they always show on TV with the cheese head. He's got icicles hanging down. He actually met Gordon Lightfoot, who wrote the very, very famous song, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, one that I am absolutely in love with. I think it's a really great song. He caught up with Gordon Lightfoot, and we did a Zoom interview with the Frozen Tundra Man. Let's take it away.
Tonight, Local 5 is airing a special program on the 50th anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald and the 29 lives lost that night. Our continued special coverage is about one local man known for his die-hard Packers costume, had the chance to make something special for Gordon Lightfoot when he performed in Milwaukee. Jeff Kalo made a carved foam hat to resemble the full Edmund Fitzgerald ship in honor of Lightfoot's song. Kalo then had the chance to personally deliver the hat to Lightfoot and found out exactly how the hit song came to be. He told Local 5 about his experience.
I walked in and there's Gordon Lightfoot sitting in this big velvet red chair with all these big round global lights that were around the chair and around the mirror and stuff. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it, you know. And I sat there. He goes, "Jeff, please have a seat." And he looked at the hat and he goes, "Did you carve this for me?" And I said, "I did." I said, "I was hoping that you'd like it." He goes, "This is just absolutely something that is, it's a piece of art." And he goes, "I love art." And he goes, "I can have this?" And I said, "Absolutely." And then he said, "Do you want me to let you know how I wrote the song?" So I spent about 20 minutes with him before the show in the back room, or in his dressing room. And he told me the story about how he went to his local library, rented out every book there was on the Edmund Fitzgerald. He said he went into a room, shut himself off from reality, from everybody, and he wrote the song. He read the books over. He wrote the song in 3 days. But what was funny about it is he said that he was just living on bread and Irish cream coffee for the 3 days. and then when he said after he wrote the hook, wrote the words in the book, or from the books and stuff, he just said, "I think I have a hit here."
Stick with us tonight at 6:30 p.m. for the special program you'll see first on Local 5, thanks to Discover Wisconsin.
So there you have it, Frozen Tundra Man meeting up with Gordon Lightfoot. Like I said, the song was very, very awesome to experience for the first time. I actually never heard of the song until one of my buddies in college showed me the song. And I wanted to run through a wall. I mean, the lyrics they're awesome. The beat was great, and the storytelling by Gordon Lightfoot was second to none. So we're gonna head to our final commercial break here. When we come back, we'll talk about some more local stories, including the Green Bay men's basketball team earning their first victory of the season, and then we will pay our respects to a local legend, Tom Mahoney, who passed away. Welcome back to Local 5's first 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus. Early tip-off for the Green Bay Phoenix men's basketball team, and they earned their first win in convincing fashion, using a strong second half to defeat Ripon College 83-63 on Sunday. On Monday at the Resch Center. After a tightly contested first half that saw the Phoenix take a 38-35 lead into the break, Green Bay found its rhythm in the second half, outscoring the Red Hawks 45-28 to pull away for the 20-point victory. Marcus Hall powered the Phoenix with a double-double, posting 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists in an all-around performance. Moran Cicic added 10 points on a perfect 4-for-4 shooting day. Mac Recchi and CJ O'Hara also contributed on both ends. In total, 11 different players found the scoring column, showing the team's depth and balance. Green Bay shot 52.7% from the field and went 20 of 33 from the free throw line, while also controlling the boards 41-35. The Phoenix created 13 turnovers, helping spark their second half surge. Ribbons Jarton Davis led all Red Hawks with 18 points on efficient shooting, while Kobe Williams and Keenan Rath chipped in 11 apiece. However, the team struggled to find consistency, shooting just 34.4%. The win marks Green Bay's first of the 2025-26 campaign, improving the team to a 1-2 record. They have losses at Kansas and at Buffalo this year. They are now 1-0 at home. The Phoenix will look to build on the performance as they travel to face St. Thomas in Minnesota on Wednesday. Moving on to another story in our area, we have a Wisconsin man. 20-year-old Wisconsin man accused of attempting to burn down a congressman's office in protest of the federal TikTok ban back in January pleaded no contest and was found guilty on Monday. Caden Statuetz entered a no contest plea and was convicted of arson of a building without the owner's consent, a felony charge. Other charges included attempted burglary and criminal damage to property. They were dismissed, but as a part of the plea deal, they'll be read in at the sentencing. According to court documents, officers responded to a fire outside Congressman Glenn Grothman's Fond du Lac office at around 1 a.m. on Sunday, January 19th. Statuetz was reportedly found standing near the flames while firefighters and police quickly extinguished the fire. Statuetz admitted to starting it because he disagreed with Grothman's vote on the federal TikTok shutdown. The complaint states Statuetz purchased gas and matches in preparation for the fire. He attempted to break into the office and set the fire inside, but was unable to do so. He then poured gasoline around an electrical box at the back of the building and near the front, ignited a match, and watched the fire burn. Statuetz told police that he believed the TikTok ban violated his constitutional rights and that he previously participated in peaceful protests, but no longer considered peace as an option. According to the criminal complaint, he said he wanted to cause a disruption and make a point by starting the building on fire, adding that he wished the entire building would have burned down. District Attorney Eric Toney emphasized the seriousness of the offense, stating that political violence has no place in society and authorities will aggressively prosecute acts of violence against government officials to protect the democratic process. Statuetz faces a maximum of 25 years in prison and 15 years of extended supervision, along with potential fines up to $100,000. His sentencing is scheduled for March 5th, 2026. And now we mourn the loss of a local legend. Local 5, former Storm Team 5 chief meteorologist Tom Mahoney passed away on Sunday at the age of 75. A visitation will be held on Wednesday, November 12th from 4 to 8 p.m. at St. John the Evangelist, followed by a parish wake service at 7:30. A second visitation will take place Thursday morning at St. Francis Xavier Cathedral from 9 a.m. until Mass of Christian Burial at 11 a.m. with Bishop David Ricken officiating. At WFRV Local 5 News, we remember Tom as a kind soul, a true gentleman, and a proud patriot who never hesitated to mentor young broadcasters and guide them with patience and warmth. Mahoney's life and career will be featured in a special tribute. We're going to show you that tribute right now. Local 5's Tom Zalaski did an outstanding job, and as well as Stacey Engebretson.
As many of you have probably heard by now, here at Local 5, we are mourning the loss of a longtime friend and colleague, Tom Mahoney.
Here now, a look back at the impact he made here in Northeast Wisconsin.
It's going to be nice the rest of the week.
Tom Mahoney first appeared on local airwaves in 1972.
There was going to be a chance of occasional snow flurries.
Then he was gone.
In the Oklahoma City area, it's hot out.
Only to return to his television roots.
Taking a look now at the regional map.
From EAA,
I want to protect my forehead,
to Country USA, Tom has been part of the local community and beyond.
Out at Snowbird, Utah.
He spent time in many classrooms.
The same thing happens in a tornado.
Interviewed some of the greats.
You fly south for the winter time? No.
And although some may say he's full of blarney,
piece of cake.
He did kiss the Blarney Stone in Ireland. Tom was a star in the Goofy Games at Disney, making friends.
I'm going to show you what I do to guys like you. Hey, you just put me down.
We haven't seen Tom since.
The search was on.
Built 4'11" with a baby feet. Haven't seen Tom Mahoney.
I don't know where Tom is.
The biggest controversy of Tom's career happened in 1988.
I can't believe that's Tom's real hair.
Of course it's not. It's a hairpiece.
And viewers got to choose. Should it stay or go?
Here we go. You ready for this? All right.
Tom's toupee then went on a hair-raising world tour, while Tom stayed here with us for another 25 years.
Now that was the fun public side of Tom. The private Tom, his God came first, then family, and then country. He was an ordained Roman Catholic deacon, making home and hospital visits to the sick. He presided at funerals. And viewers never knew this, but there were times when Tom would get off the air at 6:30, leave Channel 5 to preside at a wake service, and then come back to the station for the 10 o'clock news. Tom and wife Sue were deeply involved in families of children with cancer. Their own daughter fought and ultimately lost her lifelong battle with the disease. And while he served on meteorological boards and taught weather at UW Green Bay, we at Channel 5 will remember him for his kindness, a true gentleman, proud patriot, and for the way he mentored young broadcasters. Legend, institution, icon, and most important, friend. All of us at Local 5, Thomas, we will miss you dearly.
An excellent tribute by our very own Tom Zalaski, who was obviously good friends with Tom. So we're definitely mourning the loss of Tom Mahoney. Unfortunately, I never knew him personally, but he seemed to have really had a nice hold here at Local 5 and was very memorable in Northeast Wisconsin. So that will do it for me on First 5 p.m. here tonight. I'll be back tomorrow at 5:30, probably with a guest. Mondays are a little goofy. We got some of the main people on the show. Busy tonight. Blake's over at the Packer game. McKenna has to go pick our child up. So we'll be back tomorrow at 5:30, hopefully with a guest. Until then, though, go Pack, go. Don't want to see the Birds win tonight. Let's go ahead and get back up to number 2 in the NFC. All right, guys, take it easy. Enjoy your Monday night.